You know what I think the craziest part is?
What's up?
That we started 8 years ago in my mom's kitchen on a 2012 MacBook Pro that had no external mic.
Oh, that thing was terrible.
Recording a song that maybe 100 people got to hear.
Yeah, even if that. It is pretty nuts. Come a long way.
That we have. What are we drinking on?
This is some Sugar Shack cider. I got it from back home. You guys probably recognize this. This is from Shacksbury Cider. It's cider infused with maple and vanilla. It's pretty phenomenal. Do you like it?
It's a good one.
Yeah, it's pretty tasty. I want to say, I think I might have picked this up. It could have been at either the Bar Hill location in Montpelier, but it also could have been at the Red Hen Bakery. I'm not sure which either of those, but yeah, no, they both serve it. It's pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
But
so let's dive into the timeline a little bit.
Absolutely.
Flashback 8 years ago.
Flashback, yeah. So Flashback, man, that was created. Honestly, I don't know if do you remember this? Do you remember how Flashback first started?
I don't think.
So I was working for EF Wall way before I was becoming an electrician or anything like that, just doing day labor stuff. I was bringing bricks up and down from the hospital roof. We were putting up just another little addition there. And it was shortly after, I don't know if you ever remember Christian's song, Cake.
Yeah,
I think it was.
Yeah.
He released over, actually it might not have been Cake. It was a song that he released over Me, Myself, and I beat.
Yeah.
And then I had this verse stuck in my head that I could not get out of my head. This is something I had just created. And I went through a ton of beats on YouTube. You know, that's my favorite thing. It's going through looking for new music. And so that's what I was doing. And I found the same beat. And I was like, dude, it fits really well.
Yeah.
And that's when I brought it to you.
Okay.
And yeah, it was definitely a lot different than what we're doing now. Do you still have the song saved?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Maybe we'll
release that someday so you guys can see where we really came from.
Yeah, no kidding. And then after that, that was still in Williamstown.
Yep, we did a few little songs. We did one for my friend Seamus, who passed away. We did
GOV.
Yep,
I think would have come next. Yep, GOV's out there.
Yep, GOV absolutely is out there.
I wonder if anybody can find that one.
We did. What did we record anything when we were at Franklin Pierce? When you came over there, I know we did a cover song that I recorded for my grandmother of Elvis.
Right.
That came out
right.
Pretty decent, I have to say. You know, for the fact that the recording was in a very echoey room. I'm obviously not Elvis, but that was great. That was what song? That was oh man, I can think of the lyrics. The most classic Elvis love song. It'll pop back into my head later.
Falling in Love.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Such a great song.
Yeah.
Love that song. Maybe I'll send it to her again.
What would that have been? No, we didn't record that. Was that one that we recorded when I first visited you down here in Texas?
The Elvis cover?
Yeah.
No, that was at FPU in my dorm room. That was Franklin Pierce University.
Okay.
Yeah, we did that in the dorm room. That was one of the first times you visited before you picked me up to go to Montreal for a spring break when we recorded the music video and the song. How can we forget that one?
Yeah.
That was one of the real true milestones that we achieved.
The first official music video we shot in Canada.
Yep.
We went
very amateur, for sure.
But it came out good.
We did a good job. Yeah,
I still like it. I go back and watch it every once in a while.
I do too. No, absolutely. Hard to Swallow. That was a phenomenal song.
Hard to Swallow, we got, I think we're up to 1,700 views now.
Are we? On Hard to Swallow?
I think so.
I think Humility's at 1.7 views.
Oh, yeah.
Hard to Swallow is probably like, what? I I don't think
maybe
over
1,000. Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
I haven't checked.
that's right. Yeah, that was a good trip. We went.
That
up
was
there
a good
for-
trip. Absolutely, we shot quite a few different locations. Some of them were a little sketchy, but hey, you got to do what you got to do for the shot.
Yeah.
You know, we wanted to impress you guys. But no, that was a great trip. That was my first time out of the country. I had never been outside of the country before then.
Yeah.
And that was definitely a fun experience.
I think that was probably my third time in Montreal. Went a couple times with my dad.
Freaking
But
guy over here, my third time. That's cool. Well, I'm sheltered, so I hadn't left yet. But I have explored all over the country. I just never left the country myself until then.
what would have come after that?
After that, man, so yeah, after Franklin Pierce University, I did a little bit of work back home. I don't really know if we really created a whole bunch. You know, we were busy in the summertime. We were doing a bunch of stuff, especially when the weather's nice. You got to be outside fishing. You got to be outside, you know, tool around in the car and whatnot. You can't just be inside.
Going for cruises.
Summertime in New England. Come on now.
Of course.
And at that point, that was when I'd kind of made my decision to come to Texas.
Yeah.
And so really, anything that we were building for, even if there was momentum or anything like that,
Put on hold.
it really was. It was put on hold.
Yeah.
Which, you know, is necessary. Certain things that, you know, just have to happen in life, certain steps you have to take. But we came back to it. That's the most important thing. That's the beautiful thing about music, is it never leaves you. I mean, dude, you listen. I don't know about you, but every now and then I'll catch an old song on a playlist like that.
For sure.
Not at all what I'm expecting to listen to, but like it just takes you back, you know? Like it's one of those old trip songs, and that's, you know, what's beautiful about music is that it really does, you know, create those chapters in our lives.
Yeah. No, I'll go back and like I'll throw a playlist on shuffle and find a genre or an artist that I haven't listened to in a while and just kind of binge that for a day or two.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I just have to interrupt and say, guys, these are phenomenal. I really don't know if you've had these, but if you haven't, these are so delicious. I've been saving these for a while because I know how valuable they are down here. You can't get them. God, these taste delicious.
There's like
you can just feel the maple coming through.
Yeah,
it just totally brings you back home.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is such a good drink.
Austin's got some good ciders, but nothing
it
like
does,
back home.
but I mean, come on, dude. Yeah, the apples back home, you can't beat those. There's different things you have to appreciate while you're here, and one of them absolutely is the barbecue. Gotta appreciate the different food across all the ethnicities, dude. I mean, like the Mexican food's phenomenal. You've got great barbecue.
The Eastern
we've had
here.
phenomenal Colombian food.
God,
the
the
Middle
Eastern
Eastern
food
food
here.
here, dude. Yeah,
So
no,
good.
there's lots of good stuff that this place has to offer.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I moved down here, and Caleb, you came down here like a year
later.
after me.
Yep.
Yeah. So at that point, I remember exactly what we did next. Do you remember?
So would that have been Humility next that we recorded at Speedway?
Absolutely.
And we recorded Humility in one of those like snap together shelving units covered in a blanket with my Blue Snowball microphone, which by the way is like a great starting point, but one of the worst microphones that you could use for
on top of a
music
dresser,
recording.
so that way I didn't have to like bend down or anything. It was just right in front of me.
We built a little sound dead box out of a shelving unit
covered
and
with
some
a bunch of
blankets.
blankets.
I've still got that picture up.
I do too. Yep.
And
that was great. Hey, I mean, as far as looking at the differences between those two videos, if you haven't watched Hard to Swallow, watch it. Go back. Even if you don't like my music in that aspect, go back and watch it so you can look at his videos, because him going
a lot.
from Hard to Swallow to Humility was such a game changer.
Well,
in the quality of the videos, like I mean, just everything. I feel like what you had learned up to that point, you know, was really starting to click, because it just meshed more to where it was, you know, it was a music video, it was a movie, like, you know, like it was very seamless. And you did such a great job with that, and that's, you know, even looking back, I look a bit different, my music's a bit different, but you did such a great job with that video. You
Appreciate
absolutely
it.
did.
Another huge difference with those two is Hard to Swallow was on the Olympus. Which was a good camera, but an older camera, and Humility would have been on that, which is a Sony, which is a much better camera.
Yeah, no, Humility was, you did a much better job, and I think that was something that was portrayed both in the music and the actual craft.
Oh, yeah. We
videos.
had both
You can
grown.
just see the timeline, you know, of how we're growing with it, and like
Yeah.
how we're maturing with our craft and understanding more what's needed, and that sometimes, you know, just because there's more doesn't mean it's better. Making it more simplistic in that aspect is really
which
nice.
is something
And it was
we're really
cool
learning
because
lately.
yeah, we got to tool around with fun sites. We got to show you guys the city. You know, as we were first learning it and exploring it, you could see it too. That was, I don't know if you guys know this, that building that was shot on was where I was working. That was one of the reasons that we were there, because I knew the building. And so that was a really cool experience to be able to go there at night and be able to see the city in that, you know, type of light, and create that video was really awesome. I personally hate how I look in that video.
I wish I had if there's one of the things I would change about that video is buying a better light kit for the roof.
Yep.
I wish we had better lighting up there, but it came out good.
If you were to go back to humility, or not humility, let's go back even further. If you go back to Hard to Swallow, and you were to give them a piece of advice with what you know now and what you have accomplished and what you're still trying to learn and everything like that, what would you tell that self? What would be something that you think would help speed up that process for you if you knew that things would click a little differently? I know it's a loaded question.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough because that was also like a pivotal moment in my skill set for.
Yep.
I mean, that was the.
When you're still going to college.
Yeah.
With that, you know, as far as your classes, right? So I'm assuming you were learning a lot there. That was helping.
Yeah.
Steer you in the right
I got
direction.
got a lot better at editing while I was in New York, and I hadn't been there yet.
Yep. No, that definitely had to have played a role for sure.
I think the biggest thing I would change would be editing because I still am really happy with the shots.
Yeah. They're phenomenal locations, guys.
My color grading.
You can't be. Yep. Yep.
Looks like we shot it on like an iPhone 3.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. No, I totally get that. Well, that's something that, and especially, and we'll get to this a little bit more, but in Leaves, you did so well.
Yeah.
I mean, like the colors, you were really seamless. You know, you did a great job tracking body motion within different shots that really allowed, you know, it to be a lot more fluid to where it wasn't so many different scenes. It was the same place, it was the same song, it was the same, you know, location. It really added, I think, more of an element to that vibe where you had different angles, but it was still the same thing going on. To be able to do that with just one person is really impressive. And that's one of the reasons we had to do this. I needed you guys to see this, man, because it's not just me making the music out here. Like, I would not be able to get this far if I didn't have someone here to help me edit it, put it out on video, and release it to you guys. Trust me, I am not that savvy.
Well, I appreciate it. There's a reason why I've been behind the camera this whole time. Is I don't like doing stuff like this. But
you have such a pretty face, though. Right? But let's back.
God, I'm so bad at remembering the titles. The Song to Your Dad that we shot at the field.
Yes, yeah, Lovejoy Stadium. That was Heritage.
Right.
Yeah, we shot that for my father. It was a Father's Day special. I think it was actually on Mother's Day.
It was a Mother's Day,
I believe,
yeah.
Because, you know, my mother,
well,
super. So I shot it for my father because he's really been the best influence in my life in terms of teaching me how to be a man, teaching me how to deal with hardships, how to overcome things, go for your goals, and be ambitious. I mean, the list goes on.
Shout out Rocket Rick.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to my father. That was definitely a really cool experience because everything about that was so internal. The beat was from a friend.
Yeah.
We did the thing in 24 hours where we shot everything, we edited everything. I wrote the song in 24 hours. Like, we did everything like that, and we just put it out. And so that was one of those where, like, you know, we had a little bit of fun with it, but time was of the essence because it was really about getting the message across and also showing at the same time a little bit of within 24 hours what we could do.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that was
the whole thing was kind of experimental.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Shout out to the chair.
Shout out to the chair.
Shout out to the chair.
Yep.
That thing went for a ride, dude. What if there's security footage of that place?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. Lovejoy Stadium, Dallas, Texas. Yeah. That was a cool little spot. But yeah, we were in Dallas visiting a friend, Bo Baird. He brought us to that location. We were looking for a cool little spot. We were trying to just bounce around and really just get our name in different areas. And that was a cool little location.
Yep.
We tried a few different shots for that place.
Yep. Yeah.
We stuck with like one location, but we had a few different.
Under the stands was definitely the best lighting and the best look.
Best chance of not getting caught.
So there's that for sure. There's that. No, that was a cool one.
That was absolutely. No, that was a really cool one. I feel like after that we kind of put videos on hold for a little bit. Didn't we?
Yeah, for a long while.
Yeah.
Long while, which was largely my fault. We we ended up shooting a couple videos between then and Leaves that still haven't seen the light of day, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, there's some. I mean, when it comes to the editing stuff, just like when I'm building my truck here, I tell people I'm building my truck. They're like, that's so cool. Please be advised, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm literally taking my life into my hands. So when I'm doing this, I'm giving it the best I can. When it comes to some of these things that we're trying to do, we're trying to achieve Hollywood levels, you know? And we're trying to achieve things that many people get paid a lot of money to, and a lot of time that's invested within the short window just in our living room. And that's something that's, you know, while you're saying like it's your fault, like, yes, it definitely is. But it's not in the aspect that you're taking on a big challenge.
Yeah, for sure.
You really are.
For sure. So you know? the video I'm referencing is for White Noise. And I'd love to hear from everybody that has heard the previous albums, whether or not you'd like to still see that one, because I know it'd be kind of weird to, you know, start a whole new chapter and then drop an old video. But I'd love to get that finished up. There is one effect that unfortunately right now is just, it's a bigger bite than I can chew. So I'm hoping to talk to some people to get that effect taken care of. It's probably about 45 seconds worth of the video. We had really aimed for like a kind of a short film with that one.
Yeah, no, we definitely did. It was a story.
Yeah,
you know that song "White Noise" is a story. I'm coming back to life, and I'm just trying to reach out to anybody that can hear me, and not point at anybody and preach at anybody and target anybody, but to say, hey man, you know, if this is what's going on, you should reevaluate, because there's a lot of times in life we don't get told that message, and when we do, it's too late. And that's why I think the quote of listening to your elders is so important, is because they've gone through those mistakes. They've had a lot of those, you know, trials, and they've had failures and successes. And it's like, if we can learn from those and save ourselves heartache, why not? And that's really what the song was getting at. It's a punch. There's a lot that goes on in that song. It's a very dense, fast-paced song. But that was the point, you know, because life is not going to be slow. It's not going to sit there and let you understand. It's not going to be patient. It's not going to be understanding and kind. It's going to be brutal and honest and quick, and it's going to hit hard. And that was really the effort of that song. And so trying to achieve a music video to that high of a quality is really tough.
That was
certain
the thing,
aspects.
That was the thing I was concerned about, is I wanted to match your level of effort in your lyrics.
Yep.
To the visuals that I produced, and so I, you know, went gung-ho and should have made a couple different decisions to make my life a little bit easier. I think, unfortunately, a small pack of blue stickers probably would have
made all the difference in the world.
Made all the difference in the world, but
hindsight 2020,
hindsight
right?
Is 2020.
Can't hear for shit, but let me tell you, my seeing, I'm on point. No, that's the way it goes. But what he's referencing there is Fell on Deaf Ears. That was my first album that I've ever dropped. That was something that was a huge milestone for me, for us, to get to that point. That was totally in-house recorded.
Yep.
That was something that we had took a while to get together. It took a lot of effort. Took just a lot of. It was hard. It was a very vulnerable moment to share that entire thing to the world. And that was really cool too, because it was, just a little bit of an homage to my life, let you guys in, let you guys know what was going on. Fell on deaf ears. I'm 80% deaf. It was something that probably most people in the world aren't going to hear, and that's makes it even more ironic in a great way. But that was, for that being my first album, I'm super proud of what we did.
Hell yeah.
That was something that took a while to get together.
We recorded every one of those songs in a closet that is packed full of a king-size foam mattress.
Yep. That
we tore apart to make a dead room in there. And I'm still impressed with how good the sound.
Yeah, absolutely.
In there.
And I bet most people wouldn't know that every single one of those songs are one takes.
Yep.
That
one takes, because we just didn't really have
made it
much
easier to edit.
Choice. Yeah.
No, that was great. And I don't remember. Did I buy the AKG by that point?
No.
No?
That was still on the whichever microphone you had last.
I don't remember, but yeah, I guess. What? Are you sure? I don't remember. I guess I'm bad at keep track.
It might have been. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I got the receipt in there. I guess I could fact check myself if I really cared. I don't.
And then Dopamine.
And then Dopamine, yeah. Dopamine was
Dopamine.
something fun, you know. I dropped the album. I was feeling a little lonely, so I wanted to just put something else out there, let you guys know that wasn't, you know, the only thing I was going to do. And then I disappeared for 2 years. I didn't write anything. I mean, let me rephrase. I wrote a bunch of stuff. Just didn't put anything out.
Yeah. We were busy.
We were busy, man. We were busy. You were starting at True Tech.
Yeah.
You know, we were busy at work. We were starting really diving into the truck.
Yeah.
We were trying to explore, see places, travel, and do things. We were busy, absolutely.
Yeah.
But at the same time, too, you know, once I put out the album, I guess I felt like I had a little bit of cushion. Like, okay, I had done something. You know, I didn't have to rush to put something out because now I had something out. People could sit with it for a little bit.
Yeah.
And that was something I felt like that gave me probably a little bit too much cushion. But we started preparing for the next album, you know, way before we released it.
I was gonna say we knew that we were gonna start something like.
I would say probably like
about a year before.
At least a year before, yeah.
Shit Show dropped.
Yep. That's what I would say.
Yeah. What was the first song that you recorded for Shit Show, or that you had written for Shit Show? Because you've mentioned a couple times that you wrote a few songs and then the rest of the album was finished in about 2 weeks.
I had Welcome to the Shit Show for a while.
Yeah.
I sat on that song for a while. I would have to say that I sat on the beat and the song of Full of Promise for a while.
Yep.
Sat on that for a good chunk of time.
Quick little tidbit. The biggest song on Spotify at the time of filming this is No Mind.
Yep.
You wrote No Mind in less than a day.
Oh yeah, I wrote that in a matter of hours. I mean, the majority of the album was less than a week.
Yeah.
In a matter of just a few, 4 or 5, maybe days.
Yeah, we'd come home from work and he'd be like, "Hey, I wrote 3 more. You want to hear them?" I was like, "What?"
Yeah. So we just drive so much, you know. We drive a lot for work, and when we're doing that, you know, I mean, all I got is time. I can sit there and I can listen to beats. I can be creative, and and at that point, I was motivated. You know, my boss had mentioned us doing a show there. There was definitely there was a timetable where we needed to complete.
Yeah.
And that was something too. I would say probably this time why we went out of house.
Yeah.
You know? And that was something. I'm sure you probably enjoyed it, not having to edit everything as much.
Yeah, it was bittersweet. It was bittersweet.
Yeah.
It wasn't as mom and pop anymore, but I knew that it was going to be better, a lot better. You know, I'm like I said earlier, I'm not mad at anything that we created before going to Malik, but it was definitely got better.
Yeah, it did. Well, and that's just like, you know, the tools and the training, the time. You know, this is a guy that's doing it for
a living.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's the same thing with electrical for us.
Yep.
So that's definitely and that's that was a bit of a thing for me too. Is like, you know, but at some point I knew we were gonna have to grow at some point. You know? But that was a huge step, dude. You know, being able to and have someone else's ideas and input. That was really cool because that was something that we hadn't had before. And he offered, and he did a lot of things that totally elevated the songs.
Shout out Malik.
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
all of that
Shout
work.
out Malik Baptist, man. He was fantastic. He did a great job.
Yeah.
Great guy to work with. Did phenomenal on the music. Absolutely delivered, and at a really good price too. Honestly, I was really surprised.
Definitely
He was
hoping
fantastic.
to work with him again in the future.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, welcome to the Shit Show, and that received a lot of really good reviews. It's fun to do. I did 2 performances with songs from Welcome to the Shit Show.
Yep, the first one was at Daniel's Hair Salon.
Yep, for South by Southwest.
Yep.
That was a really good time.
Yeah.
And the second one was at a car wash We had Pull Up Boys. Shout out Pull Up Boys. Shout out JP. That was a really fun time. You know, we definitely. I know we would have had a better turnout if the weather was not so gloomy. It was so often like on all day that it looked like it was about to just dump on us. That definitely really hindered people wanting to be outside in general.
For sure.
But it was a cool show. It was a fun chance to get to hang with the guys, listen to everyone's music, support each other, be in that environment. That was really cool. I love Welcome to the Shit Show. I listen to it all the time, honestly. You want to get ready for work and you're trying to get motivated? Put on that album, dude. Look at you guys kicking. Come on now.
It's a good one.
Absolutely. I'm right. Dude, welcome to the Shit Show. Now,
I think we're kind of up to date.
Yeah. Absolutely.
3 for 3.
3 for 3. What do you guys think? Huh? What's the crowd review on 3 for 3? I know.
So far, crowd review's been pretty good, and we definitely want to, you know, deeply express our appreciation for the feedback and everyone sharing everything.
15,000 views. That's just on YouTube. I mean, that doesn't count Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, everything else that's out there. That's just on YouTube. So that's incredible. I mean, we had 1.7 on our other biggest video. We beat that in a day. And now, just a day over a week, just about, it's 15,000. That's
literally
crazy.
Triple what we've ever done before.
That is. And that is so not only validating for us, but so amazing to see that we connect with you guys on such a level. Like, it's awesome to get to that point where we finally are making that, you know, connection. I absolutely love it. Did you, when you first heard Leaves, because I go to this guy, the world doesn't hear anything unless he approves it. That's the reality. So when you first heard Leaves, you think we'd be here? You think that people would be getting where they're going with this? Getting where it was?
I didn't think it was going to happen so fast. I knew that this was definitely one that a lot more people could relate to, and you know, Vermont's going through a real tough time right now. So I think that it was definitely, you know, a good kind of uplifting sort of song. Maybe not necessarily, you know, happy, but it was the right song for people. You know, it makes you reflect. It's one of those things that I was telling people. It's a pensive song.
Even when you're home, it makes you think of home. You know, it's one of those songs. I listen to it, I get goosebumps. It makes me tear up. I love that song because it's a very real song for me. You know, it's where I'm at. It's, you know, I miss home. I miss being there. I miss being in the mountains. We used to meet up every day and we'd go to the river. We'd go fishing. We'd go home, and that's what we'd eat for dinner. And you know, there were certain things to our routine that I absolutely miss. I miss being able to be hooligans and drive our cars on the back roads. You know, I miss being able to have those experiences.
I miss dirt roads in general.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm sure you guys don't probably right now, because dirt roads are having like the worst time in the world. And we're following everything. We're here for you guys. I mean, like, I wish there was more that we could do. And that's part of the reason why we wanted to make this video, is to reach out to everyone that's been affected, especially in our home, to just, you know, say we're rooting for you guys. But the beautiful thing that we know, and I was talking to JD Green about this, is that I don't have to worry as much about everyone back home, because I know they're taking care of each other. I know they're getting it done. You know, people are out supporting each other, helping people find shelter, food, supplies. They're getting stuff taken care of. I miss the summertime.